Chapter 2. For a minute, Lizzie couldn't say anything. She just stared. Oh, she finally sighed. They are so cute. The puppies had fluffy, soft-looking coats. 2 of them were mostly brown with tan markings. One of those puppies was a darker brown, and one was lighter. They were both larger than the third puppy, who was mostly tan with brown markings. All 3 looked sleepy and cozy, curled up near their mother. One of them yawned as Lizzie was watching, and she could see its curly pink tongue. Another one got up and tottered away from its mother on unsteady legs. Its tiny tail stuck straight up in the air. Lizzie knew her brother Charles would love these puppies. The 2 bigger ones are girls, said Mrs. Dobbins, and the little tan one is a boy. See the heart on his chest? Just then, the tan pup climbed over one of his sisters, and Lizzie spotted the white marking Ms. Dobbins was talking about. They look like they might be part German Shepherd, she said, or maybe Chow. Lizzie had a Dog Breeds of the World poster in her room at home. She loved to study it and learn about every kind of dog. Usually, she could tell right away what breed of dog she was looking at. But Skipper and her puppies looked like they were a mix of breeds. All American dogs, her poster called them. Mutts, her dad always said. He said mixed breed dogs were the best. Ms. Dobbins agreed. She had told Lizzie that mutts often combined the best things about each breed, creating a new kind of dog that was good-looking, healthy, and strong. For example, if a dog's father was a Labrador Retriever and its mother was a Collie, you might get a puppy that was great with kids and liked to fetch balls, like a Lab, and was also loyal, and had a soft, silky coat, like a Collie. We haven't quite figured out what mix these puppies are, said Ms. Dobbins. They may have some golden retriever in them, too. They're so friendly and sweet. What are their names? Asked Lizzie. Ms. Dobbins shrugged. It's been so crazy around here, I haven't had a chance to name the puppies, she answered. Julie named the mother Skipper, but we figured that whoever adopts the puppies should get to name them. Lizzie liked Julie. She was a senior in high school who worked at the shelter. Lizzie thought Julie was the coolest. She seemed to know everything about dogs and cats. Plus, she was always coming up with great ideas for making the shelter work better, like the color-coded wipe-off board. Lizzie stared at Skipper's family. The puppies were making soft whimpering and snuffling noises as they pushed toward their mother, getting ready to nurse. How old are they? She asked. We think they're 4 or 5 weeks old, said Ms. Dobbins. They have their eyes open, and they can walk a bit, and they can walk and even run around a bit. So they aren't too young, but they still need their mother. They're just about ready to start eating solid food, but they're not quite ready to be on their own. So that means Lizzie was just beginning to figure it out. Ms. Dobbins nodded. I think you get the picture, she said. Whoever fosters Skipper takes the puppies too. The whole litter. It's a package deal, and not one that everybody is ready for. It's a lot of responsibility. I know, Lizzie said. Charles and I have taken care of lots of puppies. 1 puppy at a time is plenty. 3 puppies and a mom. Wow. Not only that, said Ms. Dobbins, but there's a time commitment too. If someone takes these puppies, they're going to have to keep them until they're old enough to go to their real homes. Like until they're 8 weeks old, Lizzie asked. She had learned a lot about puppies. That's right, said Ms. Dobbins. Lizzie nodded. It wouldn't be easy to talk her mother into fostering Skipper and the puppies, especially for 3 or 4 whole weeks. But Lizzie was sure that the Petersons were the perfect family to take them in. She had already fallen completely in love with the puppies, and she knew she and her family could give them all the care they needed. Where did they come from? She asked. Ms. Dobbins sighed. A policeman found them living in back of the supermarket near the dumpsters. Skipper had made a nest out of old cardboard boxes, and she was getting by on whatever food she could find in the garbage. She did her best, but it wasn't easy taking care of her pups under those conditions. Lizzie felt tears spring into her eyes just thinking about it. That's so sad, she said. She hated to imagine how a sweet dog like Skipper could have ended up living in a parking lot. Skipper's puppies are pretty wonderful too, said Ms. Dobbins. When the policeman found the puppies, Skipper was off finding food. The two girl puppies were huddled around the little boy puppy, keeping him warm. They are the best kind of big sisters. The whole time Lizzie and Ms. Dobbins had been talking, a dog had been barking like crazy. Now suddenly, all the rest of the dogs decided they needed to bark too. The noise filled the dog room, bouncing off the concrete floors and walls. The only dog who wasn't barking was Skipper. She was nuzzling her puppies while they nursed. She seemed calm and content even in the midst of all that noise. Ms. Dobbins smiled at Lizzie and shook her head. "What a racket," she yelled. "Let's go back to the office and talk where we can hear each other." Lizzie took one more look at Skipper and her puppies. She felt her throat close up as if she were about to cry. Skipper had done everything she could to take care of her family. She deserved a break. She deserved some help. "Can I call my mom?" Lizzie asked as soon as she and Ms. Dobbins walked into the office. A dog and 3 puppies. This was a big deal. Skipper needed the Petersons' help. Lizzie needed to talk to her family. Ms. Dobbins nodded toward the phone. "Go right ahead," she said. Lizzie dialed her number and crossed her fingers while the phone rang. When her mother said hello, Lizzie said, "Mom, it's me, Lizzie. You'll never believe it, but there's a dog here I think we should foster." "A dog?" her mom asked. "Not a puppy?" "Well," said Lizzie, "can you come down here and bring Dad and Charles and the bean too? I think it's time for a Peterson powwow."